my name is Safi Toussek, Safi for short, and I am the founder of the brand Sarayaa. So I am from West Africa, Senegal. So my brand is basically three things: modern, tradition and modern. Tradition by we mix a lot of traditional fabric with modern fabric, and the cut is modern. It's high end, okay, and for women. So this is the three main thing that characterize my brand. And I am an economist by training, but I have always been passionate about fashion, being in a context where when you are an artist and when you are in creative industries, not taken seriously. So I decided to be an economist. But then there is a saying in French that say, chasse le naturel et revient au galop, meaning, you can chase everything you want. I mean, you can chase away everything you want, but nature always, comes back to you. And then I decided to, follow my passion. For this collection, I've been raised by my father, and my father is a pilot. So blue has always been, around my life, and I've never known that I was attracted to blue, until I started, designing. And blue is to me, freedom. It's authenticity. It's confidence. It's accepting yourself. And being light with everything, with your decisions, with who you really are. And it's just blue is just beautiful, and it goes with everything. So for the collection, so you will see, blue would be the common denominator. So there will be a lot of mixtures, but there will be a lot of bold kind of cuts and design, things that are very different. But femininity is also is going to be really, one of the characteristics also. But at the same time, I really wanted to emphasize femininity, boldness, and authority, for women, because women really have to, I think, be courageous, to accept themselves the way they are, without being afraid, and do it really. Being feminine, that doesn't mean that you're soft. You can be, feminine and emulate, power, So that's, I think, what the collection is going to show. It is really going to be unique and different, and usually that's what people tell me. Said, oh, your pieces are really unique. They're very different, and I like doing that, because I feel like fashion right now is everybody's copying everybody. There is the identity is the same everywhere, and I am somehow like frustrated of fashion. And that's why I decided, well, that's one of the reasons why I decided to do it. What I wanted to say is, I, I decided to do this late in my life. I had a very big trigger. I was working at the American Embassy back home as an economist, and the big trigger came when President Obama and his wife, came in Dakar, and I was basically running, with the logistic, organizing the whole visit. And then the big trigger happened and made me do that. Mrs. Obama's personal assistant comes to me, and I was having a dress. I was still working at the American Embassy and thinking about something else. And this lady, she comes and she's like, where did you get your dress from? And I'm like, oh, I designed it myself. And she was like, Mrs. Obama would have loved to have your dress. And that was definitely the trigger. And I had so many small triggers, but they were not powerful enough, to make me leave whatever I was doing already. So that was the thing that really made me, and that was in 2013. And 2014, I left everything, the job that I was doing, and I was like, go for it. And I decided to do it. And here am I today. You really have to be passionate about what you do, because that's what's going to make you stick. Usually people do because they saw or they heard, somebody do. so they do it because it looks fun and it looks nice. And but then when there is a crisis, people just give up everything. And I remember when COVID came, nobody was traveling, everybody was stranded. But back home, like in Africa, Africa is a continent that actually was not touched as much as, everywhere in the world. So I was still traveling. I was still in planes, even if sometimes, I was by myself in the planes because people were not traveling. So being passionate made me do this, and I continue on, living my passion. And I mean, I've been doing it for now 10 years, and I'm still loving it. Being true to yourself and loving what you do is going to make you different and is going to make you, unique. And that's how, people are going to like what you do.